In fact, let me talk about the salary earners, the wage earners, the policemen, the artisans, and so on. It appears that nobody cares about the fact that they were going to contribute 19 billion rand more in income tax. We have to look at budgets holistically. VAT is important, but the amount of money that South Africans are able to take home so they can pay their bills, electricity, rates, school fees, transport for their kids matters too. And what we
to say we will support the ANC's plan, we will back it, we will bring our votes to ensure that it gets through the parliamentary processes. That's not the DA. We are there because we promised South Africans in the election campaign that we would rescue South Africa, which crucially means getting the economy growing again. And that is why the plan to grow the economy was central.
Where Enoch Godongwana came with a 2% proposal, I said never. I said the government must cut the VAT and leave VAT alone. 21 days later, he came back with a 0.5% budget, which shows that you could cut VAT. 21 days later, we're here now. We have a budget.
We almost found each other, but in the end, the simple answer to your question is that the ANC does not want to share power. It wants to dictate the terms as if it won the election, and it wants its coalition partners to prop it up. It is not in the least bit interested in sharing.
And the main protagonist in this impasse is a member of the GNU. They all supported last year's budget. They were clapping like seals there. I couldn't believe it after having voted against it a few months before the election. And now today they're all moaning because they didn't get their way. They wanted massive concessions that the ANC were not prepared to give them. Now they've got sour grapes.
Because we are here to get the ANC to share power, most crucially on an economic plan to save South Africa. And so if the ANC wants to do something that we reject, like a 2% VAT increase, which it was initially, if they want to do something that we reject, and they say we'll give up on that, then we say we want X, Y, and Z. That's how negotiations work. And at the top of all the GNU's documents, you will see that it says the plan to get economic growth and jobs. That's what it says.
Services say it's no need to increase VAT, so we've given this budget proposal a 30-day period to reconsider. And you know what's really interesting is that this 42 days delay that we've had is costing our economy every day. We saw the rand value decline by 1.1% against the dollar. It's now 1.7%. All this indecision costs South Africans much more. That's why we said we must put an end to this impasse. And
that's what it says. But usually in the body of the text, if it comes from the ANC, it's a plan to undermine economic growth and destroy jobs. And we're not in the government to do that. We are there to grow the economy and create jobs. We know that being in a coalition requires compromise. You can't get it all, but the ANC also can't get it all. And they are refusing point blank to share power. What they want is for the other parties in the GNU to say, we will support the ANC's plan.
It is very unfortunate. You know, VAT affects the poor disproportionately. VAT on 10 rand is 1.50 rand. It is a lot of money for the poor, but for rich people, 1.50 rand is nothing. So as a proportion of their income, it affects the poor more because it is a bigger portion of their income than it is for the rich. So VAT is regressive. It is not consistent with what the ANC is purported to stand for, which is equality and fighting poverty. It actually deepens poverty.